good afternoon, and welcome to Have a Chat. We are live at Rogers Studio here in Miramichi, New Brunswick. I am Judy Loge, and this is my beautiful co-host for this afternoon, Michelle Hebert. Welcome again, Michelle.
Thank you for having me back.
So you weren't too nervous to come back again because you did such an awesome job the last time you were filling in?
That's what it was, yes.
No, you were awesome. So
Great,
how have you
thank
been?
you.
Good?
Excellent.
Excellent?
Yeah.
And we're back to the cooler weather now. Do you think that's the end of summer or what?
I'm scared that it is, although fall is my favorite season.
It is.
I'm kind of sad to see the summer end.
Me too.
It's been fun.
I love the heat.
Yes.
I almost put the heat on this morning, actually.
Well, my mother did. I refuse to do it yet.
It's expensive to start doing it in August.
Exactly.
So we always begin our show with a quote, and I chose one today to make people think, and it's quite a cool quote, and it's anonymous. We live on a blue planet that circles around a ball of fire next to a moon that moves the sea, and you don't believe in miracles? I think that's so cool. What do you think about that?
Well,
Do you believe in miracles?
I do. I believe that they happen. I believe that, and I also believe that things happen for a reason. So yes, I do believe in those things. I like to see when they happen.
Well, we have miracle food, we have miracle drugs, we have miracle babies, we have this type of thing. But I think when we talk about miracles, we're talking about it in a religious aspect, and not everybody is.
And I'm not, I wouldn't necessarily say I'm religious, but I have faith and I believe. I would say I'm more spiritual than religious.
Okay, and I'm religious. So it's a topic that you don't want to get into. What's the thing, the rule of thumb? You don't talk about sex, a religion, or what's the other one?
Politics.
Politics. So we don't.
Right.
Really, unless you want to tackle one of them, then we'll be fired from the show. So I just want to ask you what you've been doing. You were talking to me not that long ago when you were a guest host about your upcoming Ironman road trip.
Yes.
Talk about it to me.
So my mother and I drove to Mont-Tremblant, Quebec to support my brother through his first official Ironman competition.
What is that, an Ironman competition, to be specific?
So I'm going to tell you.
I don't really know.
They swim 3.86 kilometers in open water. They then bike 180 kilometers. They then run 42.2. Don't leave out the 0.2 because when they're at the end of all of that and there's 200 meters to go, they want that counted.
They run 44.2?
42.2.
After that, after swimming?
All in that order.
Oh my. Hey, is he your older brother, you said?
He's my older brother. He's my hero. And he crushed that race. It was amazing. It was amazing. And we could track him so they have tracking points at certain intervals and they have a tracker on their ankle.
Okay.
So we could watch as he was going. We knew exactly where he was. We could run up and meet them at certain points and watch him run by or bike by.
And he knew you were there.
Yep.
What's more important than having family behind you rooting?
He said he said that's what makes you, and most athletes were saying that that's what gets you through is your support system.
The cheerleading.
So I've never seen anything like it.
Okay, so what's he built like, Michelle? On a scale of 1 to 10, is he ripped? And is
he's he's fit as
lean or wide? Lean.
Yes.
Because you have to be to endure all those different.
And it's all cardio.
I know.
I mean, all that cardio going on around me, I was exhausted.
Exhausted watching it. What's his regime on a daily basis leading up to the Ironman competition? What would you say as far as diet and working out, etc.? That's an obvious thing, but is there anything else you have to do?
Well, he trained doing biking, running
every day,
and he would even practice his open water swim. That was the part that made him the most nervous because he's always been a cyclist and a runner. And he said that the nutrition is the most important part of any regime when it comes to doing something like this. It's about your food
sleep
intake.
Would be so important.
Sleep,
Can you imagine doing that without a good night's sleep?
Right. So and the night before he had me in a condo with him and I'm loud I was like
he was trying to calm down.
Everyone was trying to keep me quiet because I was excited.
You were very pumped. Well, that was a very successful event.
It was amazing. And he finished in 12:09.
Oh my.
He came 697th out of 2,230 athletes.
Woohoo, what's his name?
Jim Hebert.
All right, Jim Hebert. Big shout out to Jim Hebert, Michelle's brother, for doing so phenomenally at the Ironman competition in Mont Tremblant. And that was a fun place to go,
It was amazing. And he raised over $5,600 for Wounded Warriors of Canada.
Okay, that's another wonderful thing then. So it was all good all the way around.
All good, all the way. It was amazing.
Well, speaking of Ironman, we know that the senior baseball team took the nationals last night, the Chatham Ironman.
Go Chatham.
Yay, yay, yay. In the finals to get Dartmouth Dry.
Yeah.
At our own Chatham Ironman field. They have not won the nationals since 1995.
My daughter told me that this morning.
I was so excited. Now, okay, you can see by my eyes for up close and to the viewers that I've been stricken with allergies because it's allergy season again, unfortunately. So I kind of had to stay in, but I could hear the whooping and hollering and commentation from my home.
Yep, I could too. I felt a little guilty about not
Me too.
wandering over, but then I thought, well,
I couldn't. I was
I'll leave it,
sneezing and huffing and puffing, but I know that there are quite a few younger Ironmen on the team. They do have 12 of their own, and they had 19 imported players. So combined, they really put on a great show. They didn't lose the game. They started Thursday night in the opening game and won it all, which took them to the gold last night. And they, like I said, they won 3-2 against Nova Scotia's Dartmouth Dry. And it was a very tense game because, like, 3-2. In the seventh inning is like a nail biter, right?
Yeah.
And the crowd was to capacity, overflowing, actually.
that doesn't shock me. But what a thing for Miramichi.
Well, that's, and
what
like
a great
you
weekend.
just said, it's that support and that go, go, go atmosphere. The atmosphere was incredible, electric, apparently. It would be.
I bet. And you could hear it.
I know.
Yeah, because I was like, they're doing something well. Something's going really well right now. Yeah.
You could hear it, it's right. And I want to give a big shout out to the extreme amount of volunteers that took part in this whole weekend's endeavor. And leading up to it, you can imagine the planning that goes into the Nationals. I mean, we're a very small city. At one point, we were a town until we amalgamated all the surrounding areas. Right. So we're a small place. But we came home big. And again, to the coaches that really mentor those and train those young men and older men to come together to do
lead
what they
them
have
to that.
do, to lead them. So General Manager Greg Morris, I'd love to get him on our show one day.
That'd be great.
We have Kevin Bowes as a coach, Gary Ryder, Mark Noel, and the tournament chairman was Jody McDonald. So to all of those men and to all of those fabulous team members that I can't name, although I know you personally, and I was telling you were going to win, way to go. Yes. So I guess you know that I was to Japan.
Yes.
Yeah. I said we were driving our little dog, our puppy, to get needles one day, and my husband said, I think we'll go to Japan. I was like, what? When?
That's random.
Who's going? He said, you and I, and Jansen won't be back in university, so let's take a trip to Japan. I said, that's a big trip. I mean, that's another continent, 12 hours away, 12-hour time change away.
How long is the flight?
Okay, the flight from Moncton to Montreal would be 2, and the flight from Montreal right direct to Tokyo would be another 12 plus.
Okay.
Bordering on 13 hours. But it was beautiful. I mean, I like to fly. Do you?
I've only flown once in my life.
Okay, then.
And I was quite nervous.
Yeah, if you get turbulence, you have every reason to be nervous. And
I was just nervous about the ground leaving where I was.
Okay, no, I'm not. It's the landing that gets me. But I experienced a whole new culture. I've never been to Asia. I've never met many Japanese people. I have on my travels. Of course, they flood to Prince Edward Island. Apparently, they're very huge Anne of Green Gables fans.
Oh.
Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah, in Japan, that's all they talk about when they think about Canada is PEI and Anne of Green Gables. And I traveled to Banff to ski over the last 20 years, and they love Banff too.
Okay.
Yeah, they travel a lot to Alberta. So they travel everywhere, actually. But I'd not experienced anything like that as far as the customary bowing.
Right.
Rather than hello as a greeting. It's a bow. I thought I should put a crown on at one point because I didn't really realize that it was that prevalent.
That formal
of a cultural custom. Very clean, extremely clean.
Nice.
If you have a wrapper, an ice cream wrapper or a gum wrapper, there are no waste baskets because that encourages garbage and litter. So you have to take it back to either somewhere that you're staying or somewhere inside of another building that has a big bin, which they're hard to find, and dispose of it there. I thought it was unusually clean. You couldn't find anything to pick up anywhere.
And you would think that perhaps that would maybe go the other way if there are no waste baskets around, that people are just going to
chuck things.
Right.
But no,
That's amazing.
Respect is huge there.
I love that.
And we thought maybe the language would be a barrier because let's face it, when people immigrate, they don't always go to Japan because of the language issue. I mean, it's quite intense. They don't really speak a lot of English.
And it's not like there are words you can pick out of that to go, I know what you're saying to me.
No, Michelle, it took me a week to learn to say hello and a week to say goodbye. They're very, very long words. There's very, very many syllables in one word.
So how would you say hello?
I don't even.
Okay.
Anyway.
Not going to do it?
No, because I might come out with it wrong. But my son, being the technologically inclined
Advanced,
person
yes.
that he is, and we are somewhat, he took his app, which we learned to do too, and translate on the app.
Smart.
So if we were at a restaurant and we wanted something that was perhaps not clear to the waiter, we would just ask them, do you have this without that certain sauce on it?
Nice.
And they would instantly say yes or no. So it
Okay.
was so helpful. And when you have a child or like a 20-year-old, you have young children too.
Yes.
I'm going to say young because I'm old, so 20 is young to me.
Well, yeah.
They have no inhibitions about directions and using their app on that
I
phone.
know.
I mean, going through the subway station, which is an incredibly well laid out system, you can go anywhere on that subway system.
But yes, you could get lost.
Yes, you could, but we didn't because Jansen was there and he
He
just
had it.
followed. Oh, we were just,
That's awesome.
tickety-boo
Yeah.
away, and we did get to Hiroshima.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
and
okay.
I've seen documentaries about the atomic bomb, and we all know that on August 6, 1945, the Americans dropped the bomb, and instantly there were 80,000 people killed, and because of the radiation exposure thereafter, there were thousands, tens of thousands more that were taken.
Yeah.
And it was very disturbing,
For sure.
but I was in awe that there was the preservation of the dome too, to get
Okay.
pictures in front of that still standing somewhat.
Wow.
Yeah, it was heavy, but the city has been built up so much that I wouldn't mind living in Hiroshima.
Really?
No, it was beautiful. Millions of people there.
Wow.
Everything's modernized there. The restaurants, the shopping
Did you shop?
in
Anywhere?
Japan.
Yes.
Do you think I like to shop, Michelle? Is that
maybe
what you're
a little,
aiming at?
maybe just a little.
That's my one weakness is shopping, for anyone that doesn't know me, and it's because I think of shopping as art as opposed to just putting on clothing. I think clothing and shopping, and I believe the way you dress is an expression of yourself
Yes.
and an expression of art as an individual.
And when you look good, you feel good.
when you look good, you feel good.
Yes.
But as far as the fashion went in Tokyo, unless you were willing to buy something, which I wasn't, at Chanel or Louis Vuitton or one of those high-end stores, I mean, I can't justify it.
Yeah. No.
Even though they're
I
beautiful
can't.
and I might have some money set aside or my husband says, get that, I still can't. It would bother me to spend $5,000 on a Chanel dress. So if you weren't willing to pay the bucks for that kind of high-end fashion,
Okay.
you had to really search out where to go.
Okay.
And I had to ask some of the women where to go for something casual or just a nice
Like North
dress.
American looking.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yep.
So I did find, imagine.
You
I did, with the help of my family and my son and my husband. They took me to various districts. So
Okay.
within Japan, you have like Roppongi and you have Daiba, and one's like almost like a little mini Manhattan.
Okay.
And another one's like a strip in Las Vegas. And another area is more like you might be downtown in a little village, or it's like a Moroccan theme type. So
Wow.
it's very diverse.
Oh, I would have
And people
loved it
were
there.
beautiful, and I did find some things that were unique.
Okay.
But the fashion for me, Michelle, is not something in general that I would ever wear. That's
Okay.
in vogue right now.
Okay.
In the stores right now, it was like, what's this? I wouldn't wear that. Oh my God. I'm sorry, but
I'm not there yet.
baggy, and everything is one size basically.
Oh.
And I'm small, and
Interesting,
you're small.
yeah.
So for me to say, do you have that in extra small? No, one size.
Wow.
So I saved my husband some money.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
He
I
said
did.
we will go back to Japan.
Yes, I did. What else can I say about them? They're very willing and helpful people,
Nice.
and they are very proud of their culture. You know, they do wear their typical customary, what do you call them? Their
kimono.
kimonos.
I
And
would have had to buy one of those.
Well, I couldn't, because where would I wear it, Michelle?
Around the house?
No. I wouldn't wear it around the house. But I went to some of the stores that showed exactly how they're made, and
my
like
gosh.
almost like a fashion show.
Okay.
And they do wear them out and about in the street.
I would have enjoyed that.
But I'm not a chopstick girl. I'm not good with them.
Me neither.
No.
I have a set at home. I promised myself that I would practice, and I have yet to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they do have forks, so you have that option, thankfully.
Thank goodness.
I didn't want to put the bowl into my mouth. I thought that might be really, really taboo. But the one thing that's really interesting is that in Japan, tipping is considered to be very rude. Yay.
Really?
Yeah, you don't tip. We wanted to, and we silently did, but they do think that is, we have served you, we have given you our best, and now we do not want anything in return but your pleasure and your
Oh my
appreciation
goodness.
verbally or through a smile or a bow.
That's interesting.
Yeah, no tipping. So I think it's quite an interesting place to go. I don't know that I'd want to live there.
Right.
But we spent 2 weeks there and a little bit jet lagged.
I can imagine.
But today we have a really special guest on our show.
I'm excited.
And I've been after him for quite a while. So we're going to be talking to him very shortly. His name is Dave Gillum. I picked him up this morning because I wanted to see where he lived. I wanted to see that he's on a beautiful house on the water. So it was my kind of a suggestion that let me get you. And so I have him here with me and
Nice.
to meet you. And I think maybe you've met him once before.
Yes, I think I have.
Our viewers are in for a treat. And so again, we are live at Rogers Studio here in Miramichi, and we're going to cut to a little break before we welcome our guest. And go grab yourself a cup of coffee or your lunch, but don't miss our special guest. Come back, folks. Thank you.
Yes, exactly. You're gonna have to do that.
Well, welcome back for this other part of Have a Chat. I'm Judy Loge, if you're just tuning in, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host this afternoon, Michelle Hebert. And now we have a very nice, lovely young man by the name of Dave Gillum joining us this afternoon. Welcome, Dave.
Konnichiwa.
Yeah.
That's hello in Japanese.
It's what?
Hello in Japanese.
Say it again.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. And
Yeah.
Jansen had it down pat, but
Yeah.
you think I could think of that? Not likely.
You guys were talking about your trip to Japan earlier, so yeah,
Yes.
I actually studied Japanese in school. So
You studied Japanese? Well, then we
don't
will,
quote me on any more than
we
one
will
hello.
not have any conversation, believe me. But you're here to talk about a whole lot of different things. Say,
Whatever
aren't
you want to
Dave?
ask, whatever you want to ask me, Judy.
Well, he's very popular, Michelle, if you don't know, in the Miramichi area. But maybe you could start by telling us a bit about yourself, Dave.
Sure,
Who
well,
you are and where you grew up.
My accent is from Australia,
Love
so
it.
I grew up there. Met my wife now in Australia. She was working.
Oh.
She was coming back where we were dating for a while there, and she was coming back for her sister's wedding, and I followed her. That was 2008. We stayed for a little bit, went to Hong Kong, Shenzhen, which is near Hong Kong, and we finally settled in Miramichi in 2012.
Were you teaching in a Hong Kong area?
Yeah, so it was a Canadian international school. So in order to go to the school, you needed a foreign passport. And
Right.
they taught the New Brunswick curriculum in China, and the students would graduate with a New Brunswick diploma. So,
Interesting. So Laurie, your wife, was over there at the time.
well, that was. So we went to both went to China together. So
Because she met you in Australia.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, tell me about what part of Australia did you grow up in?
I'm from Melbourne, Mornington Peninsula, which is just outside the big city. So
Okay.
45 minutes. I think Melbourne's maybe 5 million. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on it. I
city.
should Google it somewhere.
I wish I could say I've
yeah.
been there. Have you ever been
No.
there? And that's
Yeah.
a dream too. I
Yeah.
mean, we all have our dream
Yes.
destinations. That's I
Really?
think
Yeah.
that's on the list for sure.
Yeah. Well, if you like fashion, they say it's one of the fashion capitals. So,
I'm going to
yeah.
book my
There
flight
you go.
today.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
do a lot of blogging, Dave.
Yeah, well, yeah, I did a bit of writing, yeah. So I've been busy. Do you want to cut to the chase of why I've started blogging? Or?
I think so. Let's just
Sure.
let's do that for the viewers. Let's tell
Sure.
them exactly why you're here. Because first of all, you're wearing a Dave Gillum T-shirt, right?
I'm actually.
What do you have on?
No, this is a subs, Level Up Subs, which is
Okay.
a local business here,
Oh.
and the reason why I'm wearing local businesses attire today is because they've been so generous, and I just wanted to give them some exposure for their kindness and generosity that they've shown me. So
That's very nice.
Mhm.
And Michelle has a Dave Gillum
She does, yeah, Michelle does, yeah.
T-shirt on,
Yeah.
which is very, very cool.
Yeah.
But let's talk about health for a minute because
Certainly.
the viewers that are listening could really learn something from you as a young man.
By all
And
means.
maybe we could just go back to when you were first having health experiences of not so nice a kind.
Certainly.
You talk about it, Dave.
Yeah, certainly. I was having bowel issues, and for the longest time, it was really bothering me. And typical male, well, myself, I can't speak on others' behalf,
I
but
can.
yeah, I was hesitant to go to the doctor, and it was my wife who pushed me to go see a doctor. And even then, it was a bit of a game of cat and mouse. Initially, we were chasing the fact that it might have been anxiety, etc., irritable bowel syndrome.
Presenting like that, like
exactly.
often on constipation or diarrhea or bloating and abdominal pain.
Yeah,
Were those
exactly.
some of the symptoms?
That's exactly
They
right.
were all
yeah.
of the symptoms you had.
Yeah, I had a lot, all of that. So I reported that to my doctor, and several,
Checkups.
referred to several specialists, and to be honest, I didn't get a chance to see those specialists. What happened was, one evening in December, I was in pain all night, but all evening. Friday nights usually relax or have a glass of vino, or
Chill.
Yeah, exactly, chill. Not in pain, in agony, sort of thing. So anyway, about 2 o'clock, I finally tapped out and said to my wife that I need to get an ambulance. So I was taken by ambulance to the Miramichi Hospital, where I needed to have my appendix removed.
That would be pain.
Exactly. So here I am thinking that it's appendicitis, and the doctor comes back and says that I have indications of cancer, I guess. So there's no other way. Yeah. I have it in several places, unfortunately. So.
But you're looking great and you're doing great.
Thanks.
Can we just ask at what age this presented itself?
Well, it was last year, so it was December last year, so 36 I would have been.
36 years old. And that's really not typical to have that kind of a bowel cancer presentation.
Exactly, yeah.
Really?
So I mean, I have a family history of cancer, but I wouldn't it's not something that you don't think it's going to happen to you.
Not
you know what I mean?
age.
So yeah, exactly. So yeah, I've got a lot to give.
But it proves that it is certainly, what would you say then, recommend to young people, young men and women about going?
Especially colorectal cancer is on the rise for younger men or younger people, and that I'm aware of. And so by all means, if you're in my position and having those symptoms, I'd strongly recommend just go see a doctor. Don't mess around. So, but back to what you were saying. Put me back on the path of what you were saying again.
Well, I just want to know that, when you're going through something like that, I was going to ask you, basically, you're given that diagnosis, then you have to go through months of a regime of chemotherapy and radiation, Dave, or one or the other?
So I went for several tests, and I didn't only have colorectal cancer. They showed signs of it on my liver, and we later discovered that it's on the abdomen wall of my stomach. So,
but the good news is that they can reach those places.
Exactly.
Right?
Yep.
I mean, I've had
Modern
friends.
medicine is amazing. Yeah.
I have had friends that have had colorectal cancer, and they went through. Let's just say it on the air. They went through hell. But they did get the chemo and the radiation because those were the areas, the organs that they could target.
Yep.
So my friend had it in the liver, so they did whatever they had to do, take a piece of the liver out, and they did treat the abdominal area as well.
Exactly.
They just keep, unfortunately, having to go to those areas where it's at.
Yeah.
But I still say you're tremendously positive, and you're going through. I guess what you told us earlier off the air is I said, look how great you look, and you said, well, when I found out that I had cancer, it didn't surprise me.
No, not at all. Well, it was uncanny that it didn't, because to talk about it now, it's surprising that such heavy news didn't surprise me. So I said to the doctor at the time that it's she sort of broke the news to me, and I wasn't in shock. It was uncanny, it's all, I already knew, I had already previously.
It felt so weird.
Exactly.
Prepare yourself maybe for it?
Not at all.
mentally?
No. I had I was well medicated, but at the hospital. But like I wasn't nothing along the lines of for sure that I knew that it was cancer.
No.
So like, but so when she was in shock, and I guess to be honest, I put that down, like my positivity and my like this uncanniness of knowing, that I have cancer. I mean, I can't explain it, so like I put that to my faith. So
And also, we really do not know what each one of us is going to face tomorrow, or which one of us. They say that we all have cancer, don't they?
Yeah. Well,
And that it just takes certain things to exacerbate those cells to become undormant.
apparently so, yeah.
Apparently
I've heard
so.
that as
Yeah, I've heard that before, yeah. So,
But would
to be
regular
honest, I've heard so
checkups-
many things.
Would regular checkups be able to like? So could you have caught that sooner? But even you're so young,
yes,
are you
definitely,
going to go
yeah.
get checked for that early?
Had have I, yeah, I think it definitely could have been caught
Yeah.
sooner. But I wasn't getting any checks like
Right.
that, like at that age, like here I am just getting over the fact that I turned 30. And, like I'm, not, I thought it was like in your 50s that you get those kind
of
of
course,
checks.
or an older person.
Yeah.
Dave,
all
you're
think
saying about having waited. So what would you say you waited when you're having some symptoms of abdominal pain and all these other issues? A week, a month, 2 weeks?
No, it was at least a couple of months.
Couple of
Okay.
months, you kept
Yeah.
putting that off.
Yeah.
So you're really here to say to those guys
Yes,
that are
certainly.
30, what would you say, 30 and over?
Yeah, or even younger. Like if
Younger.
you're like
20.
I don't know what the statistics are, but like by all means, don't count yourself off as being it won't happen to me because here I am,
Yeah.
a relatively young guy, and
Yeah.
it can happen to you. So
happen to
like if
anybody.
you're
Right.
if you know your body. So like if you're feeling off, you should definitely speak to your doctor and be upfront with him. Don't hide about it.
It's changes, any changes in your whole body. Like you said,
That's
you know.
true.
They
You know.
encourage women to go for their women checkups. I know women that never go. They think, oh, that won't happen to me. The next thing you know, they might have breast cancer or ovarian cancer, and it could be
could be done.
caught if
Yeah.
they would look after their own
It's
and,
true.
and
Yeah.
feel their own bodies that aren't acting just the way they should.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm getting back to your about treatment. I'm getting chemotherapy every 2 weeks, and that's pretty intense.
Every 2
but
weeks,
every
locally?
2 weeks, locally in Miramichi. I
Thank
was
gosh
lucky
we have
enough.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, great facility in Miramichi, and the
Good.
nurses there, the staff there are fantastic.
I
so,
heard that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
makes it so much easier when you have people that are
Yeah.
very caring and saying you can get through this and we're going to help you feel better.
Certainly,
and
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Truly, but it's not something you really want to be doing because you have so much else
No,
that you want
like,
to be doing.
it's kind of bittersweet. Like you don't want to be there, but at the same time, you want you want to
need
be
that.
You're
exactly.
grateful that they're there when
Exactly.
you're there.
Yeah, for sure. So.
Okay, so I guess Michelle and I are quite interested in like how you remain so fresh looking and
Fresh.
optimistic because you do have 2 beautiful children. Do you want to talk
Yeah,
about them
sure,
for a bit?
by all means. I'll show you a quick picture. I'm sorry to the viewers that we can't get a close-up, but here's my, if you want to check my, where are you? If you go to Instagram, Dave Gillum, you can see my kids there. It's an open
And
book.
they're
Yeah.
beautiful little children.
So,
Super
yeah, that's
cutie.
my 10-month-year-old son and
Do you
my
want turned around a
yeah,
little
sure,
bit?
my
I
4-year-old
mean,
daughter.
we mightn't be able to get a
So,
close up at this
whenever I
point,
can make
but
this
Then they can see.
See if you
so
give it
your
a try
little- oh,
anyway.
there.
Where are you
There we
guys?
So
go.
that is your little boy.
Boy, yeah, I can see him down there.
I
There we
can
go.
see him pretty good. He's beautiful. And
Super
what's his
cute.
name?
Ari,
Ari. And
Yeah.
how many months?
10 months, just today.
Wow.
2 days ago, maybe. Yeah.
2 days ago, so
So
he's a
cute.
busy
Yeah.
baby.
And if I go back this way, I'll bring up my daughter. She's
All right.
right there.
Take note, Michelle. We're going to get into it. You can ask him a bit about his
Yeah.
.com. And this is your daughter.
My daughter, yeah.
And how
So,
old?
She's 4 years old.
4 years
so,
old.
Yeah,
So cute.
she's like my best pal.
Your
Like,
best
she's
little buddy?
My little buddy that
And
follows me around. And
what's her
we
name,
go on little
Dave?
adventures. Mila.
Mila.
Yes.
Beautiful names
So
for your
cute.
children.
Yeah, so we know they're a bit different, the names, but
I like that.
working in education, we wanted something unique. So you hear so many names, so we wanted
Exactly.
something,
Something
a bit
unique.
different. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So
When I picked him up today, he had another bestie sitting on the front step wanting to come on the show, and I said, I don't think our producer might maybe like that
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
her personality might take over the show. So.
It's a dog,
Yeah.
but you know, Stella.
Yeah, exactly. My dog Stella, she's amazing. So
You love her so much.
so much so, I almost use her as a service dog. Bring her everywhere with
She's
me.
a service
Yeah.
dog, so
Yeah.
she's very well behaved and
Yeah.
calm.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm pretty strict with her, which
Good.
but like when I take her out in public, that's comes in handy that she's a good
Wonderful.
listener.
What kind of
so.
dog is she?
Well, we were hoping that she was going to be a Boston Terrier.
That's not the case?
No. So we purchased her online through Facebook, and yeah, sure enough, we bought her as a puppy, and she grew up not to be a Boston Terrier. So
She's beautiful.
we knew it was a Boston Terrier. We knew it was going to be a cross, but we didn't realise it was going to be not a Boston Terrier.
Okay.
So,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh, she's so cute, and I felt bad leaving her behind.
Yeah, well.
So
okay.
you're in a beautiful
Next time.
property, your house. So you must find some of those things that keep you uplifted. Would be just sitting, for example, on the back deck saying, okay, I had the chemo, I feel like crap,
Yep.
but now I want to have some Dave time and just
Certainly.
recuperate. And is that what
And
one of the
that's
places
exactly, yeah, my backyard is sort of my go-to, my happy place.
Little haven.
You know, like we're blessed that we have a property that we have, and
Beautiful.
the Miramichi River is truly beautiful, and like the world should see Miramichi because
You
it is
think?
it is a beautiful place. So like,
Wow.
and the river is truly something that the Miramichi should be proud about.
See, I think
Yes.
of Australia as a dream location. You're saying everyone should be here, like, or at least experience it.
Experience it for sure. Yeah, yeah. Miramichi has a lot going for it.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
experience it.
Experience it. But what were some of the major shocks that you found coming from Australia to
Yes.
Little Miramichi? Just a couple of things that you thought, oh wow.
Let me put it in perspective. So, so in it, where our seasons are opposite, right?
Yes, they
So,
are. It's a winter there now? Or
we're,
spring?
we're just getting into. We'll be going into spring. Yeah, yeah,
Spring.
exactly. Yeah. So, no,
Yeah.
yeah, there'd be.
Well, we
I'm-
used to
I'm
go to
all for
Banff,
this.
and
Hey?
when
Yeah.
we used to go to Banff to ski,
There's
it
so many
was
Aussie,
winter,
so many Australians up
and
there.
they would come because it was their summer in
Yeah.
December.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh,
correct? So
okay.
they would come to ski.
Yeah, the opposites.
Right
yeah,
on.
exactly.
Mhm.
So, anyway, so February, which would be here, is like you're still feeling the effects of winter, and snowbanks the size,
Yeah.
2 meters high, and -40.
Minus 40.
Yeah, like. Anyway, so
That's a big thing, the weather.
I left Australia and it was plus 35, and I didn't have any like winter clothes, like the
No.
the
Like
jacket.
you showed
we don't
here
even.
without anything.
Well, I didn't. I brought my winter coat, but like it's nothing like it's sort of like what you'd wear in fall here,
Oh, my
So,
That's
goodness.
right.
yeah,
That's right.
So
that would be
yeah.
a shock to the
So
system.
that was the biggest shock, the weather. So,
But I bet you're
yeah.
pleasantly surprised by the people's personalities,
Certainly,
the
yeah.
hospitality.
Yeah, the hospitality of Miramichi is fantastic. The people here are so welcoming and kind and generous as well to our family. So
I know, they're great people and all. They
exactly.
really are.
Yeah. hmm
Before we go to break, do you have any last question before we just go to a break about Australia for Dave? Anything that you want to ask him about it?
Anything? Oh, I can't really think of anything. You keep answering
Yeah?
everything.
Really?
Do you guys get as much snow there as we get here?
We barely get any snow.
Nice.
So,
Nothing.
So Melbourne, where
Or would
I
it
am,
snow at all?
there's a few like ski mountains that we
Okay.
go to. So
Okay.
there you have to travel inland, and it's probably a 4 or 5 hour drive. And then like once you get to the top, we have to put change on our cars and whatnot. So yeah.
I'm
Really?
a little bit envious
Yeah.
because
And
I
we have
really don't like
snowmakers as well.
See, I love the snow.
You do?
I do love the
Oh,
snow.
well,
I
let's
don't
give
like
it
the cold, but I love the snow.
No, I
Yeah.
don't like any of it.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to move to Australia.
Right on.
So, Dave, you
Take me
have
with you,
no
no.
regrets about coming to Miramichi as
Not at
far
all.
as that goes.
Not
You've
at all.
made many, many friends,
Yeah.
and
I don't-
we're
I
going to
don't-
go to break, but maybe you can tell us when
Sure
we get
thing.
back from break.
I'll just say no regret. No regrets.
No regrets.
Yeah.
So grab a coffee, folks, and join us for the other half and more of Dave Gillum and Michelle and I when you get back.
I just thought of this.
Hello and welcome back to Have a Chat this beautiful Monday afternoon. We're live at Rogers Studio in Miramichi, New Brunswick. Again, I'm Judy Loge, joined by Michelle Hebert and Dave Gillum.
Hi.
And we're having a great old chat about all kinds of things.
Great time, yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, we're talking about your journey through
Serious.
health
We're
and
talking
serious
serious issues,
business and colorectal cancer. And for those who are just tuning in, basically to get your checkup, if you have any signs, like Dave said, of abdominal discomfort, bleeding from the bowel, a change in bowel habits, basically overall unwellness, go to your doctor. Don't just sit there and put it off.
Exactly. Yeah,
But
don't be too proud.
You were talking about your children and the joy they bring into your life.
Yeah, they're
And
amazing.
Michelle was asking you all about your dog named Stella.
Yeah, did you want to
Yes.
see?
Yes,
yeah,
we
well, we
do.
have. Okay, I'll remember.
This is Stella.
Stella, where are we?
And
There
if
we
you're just
go.
tuning in, folks, she is a service dog.
He's over that way there.
Who was thought to be a
There you
terrier.
Yes, it was thought to be a
Anyway.
terrier.
So yeah, she's not. There we
She's
are.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
So you
No,
take her
she's
basically
amazing.
anywhere. She's allowed into restaurants, into malls. Like, what are some of the rules?
I could if I wanted to, but I pick and choose where I take her. So
Right.
You know,
I
like,
believe
yeah.
most places are pretty accessible now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, like, if I wanted to relax, I'd sort of, I'd try to leave the dog at home.
Yeah.
I know that, but dogs
Yeah.
are truly, I'd say, a man's best friend. And I
Is it?
have
Yeah.
my new puppy, and
Yeah.
it's hard. It's not fun.
Yeah.
When you were stricken with cancer, you had a baby and a toddler and a new puppy.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my God.
she was she's not a puppy anymore.
No.
She's about 4 years
Oh,
old.
she's
so,
4 now.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
She acts like a puppy though. So sometimes she's so energetic, the energy of a puppy. So.
Yeah.
But how did you balance it all? Like going to the hospital, going to your appointments, going
Yeah.
through your agony of how this and that and feeling like, so ill at times.
Yeah.
How did you cope?
Sure. Well, I won't be shy to say that. You reach out for anything really, but my faith. I grew up with my family going to church, and I grew up going to church. I took a little break there for a while,
People do.
by all means, I came back and been going to the Point Church ever since we've been Miramichi. And
Such a great
I
reputation that
love-
church gets for just giving the most powerful messages. And the community itself, they say the bond is so tight that you go there and you feel like it's one big family.
certainly, yeah,
So
you
true.
feel at home. Yeah, for
That's
sure.
the way church should be.
It is. That is the most lovely
Yeah.
church. It's the most lovely group of people.
No.
I went to the Living Christmas Tree.
And it's beautiful.
Have you been?
Yeah. Well, I've been there for it, but yeah, it's such a great show.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we were saying earlier, we don't talk about religion or politics on the show as such. We don't
We
get
can
into
put
it
all
too
on.
heavily. We can give our viewpoints, but we don't encourage having them on,
Yeah.
to talk about.
Yeah.
But faith is one of those things that you either have it or you don't.
Yeah.
And you said you grew up in a faith-filled family.
Yeah. Well, grew up in the church. My parents were elders in the church. And
Elders?
Yeah. So
Okay.
for a little while there, and then it's something that's always been in my life. So
Good.
like I just I'm not one to push what my beliefs are onto
No,
anyone
nor am I.
else. But just by treating people like how you would like to be treated,
Totally.
is totally.
I agree.
It's just being a good person. It doesn't mean to have anything religious to it.
No.
But that's
I agree.
So,
And when you go there, you feel that love and you feel that energy. And that's what you need when you're going through a rough time.
Yes.
You need that. I mean, we can just say it as it is. Some people have stopped going to church, and you know how many thousands of people have stopped going to their church because they just find, well, there are certain things that happen that shouldn't happen.
Yeah.
But there's also that atmosphere that's very stagnant and very, let's just say, boring. And
Yeah.
if you're not getting the message and the holiness that you go there to derive, then you're going to come out there feeling, what did I go for?
yeah. Well.
Or that support too.
Yeah, exactly.
We're not
yeah.
close.
You're getting
the,
that.
the Point Church, they have a full band at I think
band?
three
Yes.
three sites
What?
in Bathurst, Chatham, and Newcastle, and honestly,
A band?
oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's what I spent a lot of my time doing was the sound engineering for the band. So
Yeah.
but anyway, they're fantastic, and Kevin's messages are always something that you can relate to.
Deep and go
something
home
yeah.
and
So,
hang
yeah.
on to.
Yeah. So, I wish I could explain it better to you, but
Okay.
like my positivity, it just almost comes naturally. Like
It
it's just
does,
like,
Dave. You
I don't-
give me a lift. Like, seriously. I mean, let's face it, Michelle, people complain about the most mundane little
Yes, it's true.
things, you
Yeah.
know, like a bad hair day, which I'm having. My eyes
Yeah.
are shot from my allergies. I mean,
Yeah.
you're probably thinking, don't talk about that petty stuff
No,
because
no,
it
no.
really is so
No,
petty.
No, not at all.
No,
at
but in
all.
comparison, it means nothing.
Yeah.
No, from
But
the
I-
first day I met you, which was random,
Yeah,
where I work,
Yeah.
you were lovely, you were positive. No one would ever guess that on
Really?
you. No,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
And you look good.
I just try. I try and absorb most of the sun, as much sun as I can, and.
And eat healthy? Like, what are some of the things you have to do when you're going through treatment? Are there things that they recommend that you must abide by?
Well, something that the nurses said to me, like they said, if there's an extra, like if you do have an appetite,
Yes.
and there's something on your plate, and there's a little bit left over, have that extra bite.
Oh,
They want me to stock on my weight because of the
Okay.
chemotherapy can,
Yes.
I guess,
Reduce your weight?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
So,
What other
so-
side effects that are not so pleasant? You get nausea?
There's a long list of side effects, and to be honest, I probably experienced most of them in one way or another. But modern medicine is amazing. So,
It is so.
and I won't be shy to say that I use medical cannabis as well.
Well,
So,
we've talked on the show about that as well. I mean, it's legal now, and
Yeah.
isn't it great for pain and
It's
for
fantastic.
mental
Yeah.
calmness,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's hits all of those bases that you said. So I'm strong advocate for that.
Okay.
So back to side effects.
Yes.
There's a pill for pretty much each of the ones that modern medicine truly is amazing. So,
I would not be shy to say that there's the one thing I think that would be the most intolerable would be to be nauseated.
I know.
Yeah,
So they have a pill for that.
it's like I don't know.
Oh,
It's hard,
it's the
it's hard to
worst.
explain. Like you're dead sober, and it's almost like you're on an airplane going round in circles, and you're half hungover. You know, like it's just
Hungover
like.
and
Yeah.
But you haven't had any.
But
of,
you haven't had the fun of the
Yeah, exactly.
drinking.
You're just trying to get. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you're just trying to get out of bed.
so you sleep. Are you sleeping okay?
I've got some good pills for that.
Good, good,
Okay.
good. That's why
Good
you're doing
medicine.
so well.
Yeah.
Well, I'm following the instructions from my doctors. That's
Yes.
what I'm doing. So
Good
I'm not
patient.
taking back nothing nothing against people who are growing marijuana themselves, but I'm taking the medicinal marijuana
Medicinal.
that's been
Advised?
advised for me. So I do what the doctors say, and there's no sense being negative. So I try and be positive as much possible as I can.
Exactly.
And back to my faith, I feel like it's like everything's going to be okay one way or another. So,
That's the attitude.
yeah.
You're never
So,
alone when you have
yeah.
him with you, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
We've got to talk about your music background. Now, you are one humble guy, Michelle. You're not going to hear him bragging about his background in his DJing and mixing, but I've been doing a little bit of research on you.
Oh, yeah.
And your name's out there, Dave.
Yeah.
As one of the movers and shakers in the DJ world.
Not really. I just.
Yes, you do.
I just
Like
have
top 8 in Canada, was it? Voted number 8?
Last year or the year before. Yeah.
Last
so-
year,
Yeah,
it was
that's impressive.
January of
So-
2019,
Yeah.
actually.
Really?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
can
I've been
creep
checking
in
them
okay,
out.
Yeah. So yeah, that was just a little competition that was open worldwide, and yeah, I was voted top 8 in Canada.
Worldwide, something to say
That's
hello
amazing.
about.
So, yeah. Hey, yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
crazy.
So, I've been playing with records ever since my uncle let me near his record player when I was a little kid. So, yeah.
So do you do like the sort of, I'm thinking of Calvin Harris, Dave Guetta, is that your scheme?
they're DJs/producers.
Oh,
so
yes.
they'd make their own music.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm more of a push buttons, choose the right music for the right time sort of thing. So,
Okay.
I just with the mixes, it's basically choosing mixes that, for instance, I do one for a series of mixes for River City Fitness.
Okay.
Anyone who goes to the gym really. So.
You got to have good music to pump up.
So
Yeah,
you take
exactly.
already made music and you kind of blend it together
Exactly,
and
yes.
make it rockin'.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the series is called What's a Carbohydrate, and essentially it was not designed. It's it's set at a certain beats per minute.
Okay.
So the music is designed to get you through your workout, I guess. So
Nice.
before Mila was born, I was DJing probably at Mike's most of the weekend, right? So
I love music.
it's
Me
not
too.
it's not really a family occupation. So
No, it's a side occupation because you are in the educational field.
well, exactly, yeah. So before I became sick, I was working for Miramichi School. So
Very nice, very nice. And we're going to get you back there.
Huh?
Well,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the
yeah,
plan.
my principal. I'll look for her. My principal said I'll be back in September. So not this September, but maybe next. So.
They miss you and you miss it.
Yeah.
But you got to get to where you're going. Like, you got to just go through that journey. Sometimes we get those obstacles banging our way, and
That's
we just
right.
got to walk and get around them
Exactly.
somehow, right?
Yeah, and I just see it's a bump in the road. So
It's a bump in the
Right.
road.
Yeah,
It gives you strength for something that will come later.
certainly. Yeah.
Dave,
So-
let's talk about the Dave Gillum logo, which is very
Sure.
catchy.
Yeah,
and,
you like that?
where that all began for you. And
Well, I went from working full time to having all this extra time on my hands,
Yeah.
but like at the same time, I don't have the energy to do much
Big stuff.
really.
No.
So this is where my computer has become like I've always been tech savvy. So I got into making like I did my own clothing, I guess. So
it's so
and,
cool, though.
I did it more for other people to purchase, to get behind Team Dave sort of thing. And
Team
like,
Dave,
you know,
support.
like-
And so a fundraiser basically is what your aim was?
it's not really much of a moneymaker. It
It's
was
not.
more of an encouragement sort of thing.
Okay.
So where
yeah.
do people find it? Like where, if I want to
Certainly,
go buy this?
DaveGillen.com.
Okay.
So yeah, and then there should be a link that says, I won't go to it now, I'll go to it later. But anyway, there should be a link that says shop. It's, yeah.
I see what
Okay.
you mean,
It's pretty
though.
straightforward, my
Even
website.
if it's not a money venturing, ordeal, then it's
see
going
my-
to be like you see someone wearing that. It's like,
Yeah.
hey, Dave, we're
Exactly.
rooting for
Yeah,
you.
we got you.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
yeah.
what
Exactly.
do you have?
Yeah.
You have T-shirts. You have bags.
Hoodies, everything.
Hoodies.
Yeah,
The bag
bags.
is
Yeah,
awesome.
bags down here. Do you
Can
want
we
to
show
see the
that?
bag?
If
Or?
we can get it, or
It's
and
right
even on
here.
your laptop, you have your Dave Gillum
Logo,
logo.
yeah,
Like just
yeah.
everything there is kind of like root for Dave.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, and I'm
Hats?
strong. Hats. Yeah, exactly. I didn't have a hat with me today.
You
just
should have,
for that.
because when they see my hair, they'll think, why didn't he bring her a hat?
Well, I didn't,
You know, you weren't thinking
I didn't
about me.
want- I didn't want the lights to be shining off my head, so
No,
I
you
had to
still
wear
got some
a hat.
You still have some hair there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, well, that's a funny thing. Like chemotherapy hasn't affected my hair.
It looks
So
good.
yeah. So
But guys love
Good
their ball
stuff,
hats.
yeah.
what's that?
I said guys love their
Oh,
ball
it's true.
hats.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
goodness.
Well, that's funny. Yeah, more so than Australia, I find.
Really?
Here, they're more popular here in Canada. Like the guys love wearing
They
hats.
do. They do.
And like back home in Australia, I was going to the hairdresser every couple of months,
Right.
making sure I had the coolest do or
Yeah,
whatever.
no.
You know,
It's a
and-
ball hat villa around here.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yes.
They live for it.
Yeah.
Just to go to a different topic for a minute,
Mhm.
tell us some of the things just to venture back into Australia for a moment because
Sure.
I've never been.
Yeah.
What do I hear about the drop bears? What is that? Tell us about it. Have you ever heard about drop bears in
Never.
Australia?
Drop this.
Well, I have.
You have?
I just don't know much about it.
Okay. Well, it's a bit of a folk tale to scare the tourists, I guess.
A tourism, like a legend?
So what is
Yeah.
what is it?
It's made up.
It's made up.
Yeah. So we talk about the koalas, except they'd be say with giant koalas, and they drop out of the trees
Giant
in
koalas.
Oh my
at the
goodness.
night. So
Like something like Sasquatch, and we talk
yeah,
about
exactly.
those.
Yeah,
Ah,
exactly.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
Dungarve and Hooper and the haunted things that we hear of it
Yeah.
scare people when they
Yeah.
come
The
to
headless
the
nun.
headless nun.
Yeah.
But I don't know
They-
why we need to make up stories. We've got enough snakes and spiders and all kinds
See,
of things.
that
Enough. Yeah.
would stop me from going to Australia right
People say
there.
that. That
Agreed.
doesn't bother me.
Snakes don't bother me. Snakes, I'm
Have
Yeah.
you
terrified
been
of.
around them?
No, so that terrifies me.
Oh yeah, no.
One day I was walking home and there was a brown belly snake, which is one of the most poisonous in the world.
Oh.
And I was on the phone to somebody. My initial reaction was to freak, but like in school they have these reptile classes and they tell you what to do, sort of
Ew.
thing. Anyway, well, a ranger would come and show you this is this snake and sort of identify him. The best thing to do around a snake is just it's more scared of you. So
Okay.
just stay still or be quiet and
Uh-huh.
walk around it. So
They always say that about the scariest animals, though. They're more scared of you.
yeah, exactly.
Test
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Try it out.
Spiders, actually, I can't even hardly say the word. That's how scared I am.
Spiders?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
and there was a video not too long ago about a man that came home, I believe it was in Australia, and he came home to a dinner-sized plate spider eating an opossum on the wall.
Oh my goodness.
I would have
yeah.
moved.
That's
There was
crazy.
a name on it too. They said that they're there, and I thought, well, I will never go there.
I would have
As
moved.
much as I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything crazy like that, but I have seen some pretty big spiders. So yeah,
No.
they're
Like
around.
hand size big?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, exactly,
No,
yeah.
no.
What's the food like? What is one of the popular dishes in Australia? Like, what's one of the things that I could go and enjoy? Is it a dessert?
I'd love to. Like, I like foods that you can't get here that you can get there.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
With like meat pies, like they're a staple in Australia, and you
Meat
can't find it. You
pies?
can't find them anywhere here.
Yeah, you can.
Well, not
probably.
yeah,
Little tiny meat pies.
Like,
4 and 20 meat pies. Yeah.
Okay, because
They're
you can
called.
get them at Christmas time, like meat pies.
oh, my
yeah.
parents make meat pies.
You
yeah.
thinking of like mince pies?
Mince,
Or-
but we can get meat though with like
Oh, okay.
rabbit or pork or whatever like that at
Okay.
the bakeries too.
I'll have to keep my eyes peeled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to
And-
make you some at Christmas.
For sure.
We make them.
Yeah, I'd
People
be,
here
I'd be
make
keen.
those.
Yeah.
We're like I said, we don't have too much time left in our show, unfortunately.
Oh, should we give away a T-shirt?
Would you want to give away a T-shirt?
I'd love to. Yeah.
All right.
So,
So we have a Gabe Gillum T-shirt.
certainly, yeah. So if you'd like to win a Dave Gillum T-shirt, jump onto my Facebook. So it's djdavegillum.com. Well, the Facebook, you know, how to find DJ Dave Gillum.
DJDaveGillum.com.
Yeah, yeah, the first post there, if you share that, like that, and maybe comment a friend, let's say this time next week, we'll give away a T-shirt. Judy, what do you think?
I think so, or they
Yeah.
can just Facebook you.
It'll be all
and
on
the first
Facebook.
person that
yeah.
you get, and that's awesome. And can you get them in every color?
We'll give away a green one.
A green
yeah.
one, folks. So
Yeah.
stay tuned
Yeah.
to see who next week we announce, or after the holiday weekend.
Yeah.
And I want everyone to enjoy their long weekend. And thank you for being our guest.
My
and
pleasure.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Michelle.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great week ahead. Thank you for joining us, and have a chat.